So you want to be a YouTuber. What does it take to make it? If you want to do it to get rich, well, good luck. If you ask a huge majority of the YouTubers out there who are actually making money from this,
you know what's funny?
I think the thing that I think about the most,
10 years ago,
I just bought this train!
They started out because they just enjoyed making videos and started posting them. And over time, they got better and better and started to eventually be able to make a few bucks by growing a big enough audience. Most people don't get 10,000 subscribers in their first 6 months or year, or even first couple years for most people. And if you're okay with that, then stick around and watch to the end of this video because I'm gonna explain exactly what you need to start a YouTube channel, and hopefully you might even find a little success of your own. We'll talk about some of the gear you need, some of the skills you need to learn, some of the challenges that you'll run into, and I only recently started on this journey myself, so I'm gonna share with you a lot of the mistakes that I made, so hopefully you don't make them and you can get a step ahead. If you're interested and you like what you see, please subscribe, hit that like button, and hit the bell for notifications whenever a new video comes out. So grab a notepad, class is in session. Okay, first things first. If you want to make a YouTube video, you need a certain amount of gear. Now some people think, and understandably so, that the first thing you would go out and buy is that expensive video camera. This is basically what I did, not immediately, but very quickly, and I soon realized I probably should have spent my money on something else first. The reason being, it's 2024 now, and almost every single smartphone out there is more than capable, most likely of even recording 4K, but if it's not 4K, it's still good enough to start your YouTube channel because it doesn't really matter the quality because nobody's gonna watch them anyway. The first thing that I would buy would be an external microphone. Now it doesn't matter even if you buy that $2,000 camera, or you're filming on your iPhone, or a Pixel, or a Samsung. The built-in microphone is not gonna get you there. Now, one of the biggest reasons that people click off of videos is horrible audio quality. And if you're filming on your iPhone or your camera, that's what you're gonna get. So the first thing I would purchase if you wanna make a video is a decent external microphone. Now, you don't need to spend a ton of money here. You can get a decent external microphone for under $100, and that will improve your videos more than that $2,000 camera, especially because you probably don't know how to use that camera anyway. Now there are a couple different types of microphones that you could go to. There is the shotgun mic, like this, the Rode Video Mic Go 2 that I use a lot. Or you can see on my shirt, I have what's called a lavalier microphone. These are two of the main types of microphones that you could have. They're both good for different situations. I have an entire video on that, so please check it out over here. Please check it out over here, and you can find out all that you need to know about these two microphones and all the different types of microphones that are out there. Another thing that you will absolutely need to purchase is something to hold your camera or your phone. Depending on which route you're gonna go, you could, if you're gonna use your phone, you could get one of these little portable tripods. You just set it on your table. You can kind of adjust the legs however you want. You can even wrap it around things like a railing or whatever. Get different angles that way. Or if you're gonna be using an actual, a little heftier video camera, you'll probably need to get a floor-mounted tripod, just one of the typical ones that you see. There's a ton of different options out there. You don't need to go crazy. You just need something that'll hold it. But that's absolutely something to buy as well. Now you have something to hold your camera. You have a decent microphone, something to record pretty good audio. Now is the time to get that camera, right? Wrong. Still, I wouldn't buy the camera. I would actually buy a light first. There's multiple different types of lights out there, but what you really want to focus on first is something that we call the key light. I say we. I just started calling it a key light when I learned like 3 months ago, but whatever. So the key light is the light that illuminates your subject. You can go with a Softbox, which is sort of this big light box that has an LED, that has a diffuser over the top of it, shoots the light onto the diffuser, fuses the light so that you don't get any harsh shadows or anything like that. Ton of different options out there, but they are a lot bigger and they're kind of a pain to deal with if you don't have a very big area. So it's not for everybody, but it's probably the best source of light that you could get for your key light is a nice, bright, diffused softbox. Now, I made a horrible video about the first softbox kit that I got, which was the Mount Dog softbox kit. Feel free to check out that video if you want, but it was my very first video ever, so fair warning, it's not good. Another option, if you don't want to go with the full softbox kit, something a little bit smaller, is you could either go with an LED panel or an LED ring light. I'm using an LED panel right now. It generally won't diffuse a light as well as a softbox, but most of the time it's good enough depending on your situation. Third option, if you're extremely limited on funds, is you can just sit by a window usually. You want to make sure that the sun's not coming through directly, because then you'll get some harsh shadows in your video. But if that is the case, you can just drape a white sheet up, and that will act as the diffuser, similar to what the softbox would be. It's basically just a big white sheet that the LED is shining onto, which would in this case be the sun, and you get a giant softbox for free. Now, if you decide to purchase a key light, there's a ton of options out there for under 100 bucks again. The LED panel that I'm using, I got on Amazon for 40 bucks. The link's below. It is an affiliate link, so I do get a couple pennies if you buy through it. But it's called the Releno, I think. I don't know how you say it, but Releno LED panel. It's like 40 bucks. Works great. It's not the most powerful thing in the whole world, but it's good enough. Okay, so now we got that external microphone for 100 bucks. We got a tripod for probably 50 bucks or something like that. We got a light for 50 bucks, 100 bucks, whatever you want to call it. Now we're up to like 250 bucks, and we are way cheaper than what we would be if you bought that camera right out the gate. Even if you upgraded and got really nice microphones and lights, you're still going to be cheaper than if you went out and bought that $2,000 video camera right out the gate, and you'd have to buy all this stuff anyway. Believe me, I know. I made that mistake, and now hopefully you won't. So now we got these three things. I would say you're probably ready to make your first relatively high quality video. Now, of course, there are some skills that you need to learn before you can actually do it, but you technically have all the things that you would need in order to. So let's talk about some of those skills that you'll need to learn. Now, the first of these skills might be obvious to some, but you'll actually need to learn how to edit your videos. There's a bunch of different software options out there. I personally use DaVinci Resolve, but there's also Final Cut Pro, there's Adobe Premiere Pro, there's CapCut, Shotcut, there's a ton of different options out there that you can find. Now, the reason that I chose DaVinci Resolve is because they offer an amazing free version of their software that has like 95% of the functionality of the full studio version, which costs $300. I didn't necessarily want to spend the money up front just to find out later that either A, I didn't like the software, or even worse, B, I just didn't like making videos and wasn't going to continue doing it. Now, I highly recommend DaVinci Resolve, the free version to start out. I know a ton of YouTubers that only use the free version. I'm by no means an expert at video editing, but the one thing that I try to do is I try to improve or learn one new technique in each video that I do. And by doing this, I'm slowly learning the video editing process over time, and I've found that the latest videos that I've been editing take me way less time to do, even though they're more intensive than some of those earlier videos that I did. Okay, so we've talked about video editing. The next skill that I didn't even realize was a skill at first, but it is insanely hard, is talking to the camera. And this is still the thing that I probably struggle with the most. I can have the perfect script in my head, or script written down, or outline of what I want to say, and then I go hit that record button and I just completely blank out. Can't remember even the first word of what I was going to say. Now, it's gotten better over time, but still, it almost always takes me multiple times to say something. It usually still takes me multiple takes to get something that I'm even okay with. It still usually takes me multiple takes to get something that I'm even okay with, and I still am cutting out a bunch of ums and filler words like that. So it's definitely a skill that comes with time. It's by no means natural. Trying to make a conversation with something that's not speaking back to you, it doesn't even have eyeballs, it's just you're staring into this lens. It can be very intimidating at first for some. Myself absolutely was one of those, but slowly I feel like it's getting a little bit better. So if you're just starting out, don't get discouraged like I did. So if you're just starting out, please don't get discouraged like I did. So if you're just starting out, please don't get discouraged like I did. The one thing that I did find that helped me out a ton was actually going back to some of those, famous YouTubers that I watch their stuff all the time. Go back to their original video, their literally first, second, third, fifth, 10th, 20th video, and watch some of those. And you'll see that they feel like they're in the exact same position that you are. It made me feel a ton better knowing that these people didn't just come out the womb, built for speaking on camera. I'm sure some people probably do, but Most people, it is not natural to talk to a camera, and it's a learned skill, which, just like any other skill, it takes time and practice, and you'll get better as you go. Okay, so now you're talking to the lens, you know how to edit your video, you have decent lighting, decent audio, something to hold your camera, so now you're ready to make that first video, right? Well, technically, yes. Problem is, nobody's gonna watch it. Unless you're just extremely gifted and charismatic, chances are your first couple videos will get basically 0 views. And the reason for this is usually one of 2 things. The first is that your title and your thumbnail just aren't enticing to people. It's the first 2 things that people see about your video, and if it's not enticing, people just won't click on it and you won't get those views that you're looking for. So not only do you need to learn video editing, you also need to learn thumbnail editing, how to make an enticing thumbnail. Now, the second reason that your video won't get any views is, unfortunately, simply just because your videos aren't good yet. Now, it's not something to get discouraged about, it's just a reality. Nobody starts out being great at something the first time that they do it. You know how to make videos, but now you need to learn how to make videos that people actually want to watch. And that's basically the golden ticket of YouTube. Unfortunately, I can't give you the answer to that because there's no secret sauce. It's different for every person, it's different for every channel, it's different for every style of video, but I do have some tips that I will share with you to hopefully slowly increase the amount of views that you get, which will slowly lead to more subscribers and slowly lead to monetization, and maybe eventually you can get to that professional YouTuber status that you've always dreamed of. Again, don't get your hopes up, but at least it's possible. Now, the most important tip that I think I could probably give you, and you've probably heard this before, but I can't emphasize it enough, is to just focus on improving each video by 1%. By the time you've posted 100 videos, you've learned so much and you've improved so much that there's no doubt in my mind that you're getting more viewers, you're getting more subscribers, and you're probably monetized by the time you have 100 videos if you focused on improving each time. Now, the way that you improve your videos over time is really up to you, and that's where creativity comes in, and slowly you'll build your skill set, and even almost more importantly, you'll find your style, and people will gravitate towards that style, you'll grow an audience, and you're off and running. Okay, so now you have the right gear, you have the right skill set. Now you just start posting videos and making boatloads of money, right? Well, not exactly. Now, I want to share with you some of the challenges that a lot of YouTubers experience, myself included, so that you know what to expect, you don't get discouraged, and you don't decide to just quit this YouTube journey altogether because you're not getting the results that you want immediately. The biggest hurdle for me personally is simply just the sheer amount of time that it takes to make a video. It's extremely time consuming. For just a 10-minute video, I probably think of the video and script it or write an outline for a few hours. I probably film the talking head stuff like this for a couple hours. The B-roll shots take even more time. The B-roll is the shots that you put on top of your narration that help tell the story. A good rule of thumb is about 3 times as many B-roll clips to A-roll clips. At least I've heard that. I don't know if that's true. But that just simply means a ton of different clips, which means resetting your camera, repositioning, getting the right shot, shooting it a few times, making sure you have a good one. It's extremely time consuming. Then the video editing, then the thumbnail editing, then the uploading and publishing and doing everything. It probably takes, 8 plus, 10 plus hours for just a 10-minute video. Now, I'm sure over time this will get faster. If you have somebody to help shoot your videos with you, it should go even faster. I don't, I simply just film everything myself, but it can be extremely time consuming, and I just want you to be aware of that. If you're like me and you already have a full-time career, by the time I get home from work, I have a wife and a baby waiting for me, and just making videos obviously takes a back seat to my family and my career because I'm not making any money at it. But what you'll hear frequently is that you'll want to post about a video a week, which comes to about 50 videos a year, 52 if you're being exact, and I just simply don't have the time for that. Just keep this in mind. If you decide to start that YouTube channel, it takes a ton of time, effort, and energy to make it work, especially at the beginning while you're still learning everything. Now, an option to think about is potentially outsourcing some of these things. Obviously, if you want to be the subject of your video, you can't outsource that, but you can outsource the video editing, the thumbnail editing, and things along those lines. Obviously, that's going to cost you money, so you need to decide if it's worth it for you. But if you decide to go that route, it can save you a lot of time, which potentially means the ability to post more videos more frequently, which might speed up the process to get where you want to be, but you got to figure that out for yourself. I personally don't outsource anything. I want to learn everything myself, at least at the beginning, so that eventually down the road, if I decide to do that, I can at least tell the person what I'm looking for, what I like, and things like that. Another challenge that you will likely run into is finding your YouTube niche. Once you start making videos, and even high quality videos, the YouTube algorithm needs to know who to show those videos to in order to get the views based on who's interested in the content that you're producing. If you're making videos on a ton of different topics, on all different sorts of things, the algorithm is going to have a very hard time showing those videos to the proper audience because it simply doesn't know who that audience is. Now, at the very beginning, this doesn't really matter because you're just trying to learn. You're not really trying to compete in a niche with YouTubers who are already doing it. Because chances are there's already, YouTubers in that niche that have been doing it for longer, that are better at making videos, and you just simply won't have the quality of content to peel away viewership from those established YouTubers. But that won't always be the case. The longer you stick with it, the better you'll get, the more you'll learn, the better your videos will become, and that's when people will start giving it a chance. Okay, so finally, you have the right gear, you have the right skills, you know what challenges to expect. Now, are you ready to start your YouTube journey? Well, if everything you've heard so far didn't scare you away, then I would say actually probably yes, you're ready to start your YouTube journey. Woo! Now you know everything that it takes to make it, or at the very least, what it takes to start this amazing journey. If you are the type who loves learning new things, overcoming challenges, and has a persistent mindset that is willing to continue to come back even when you aren't getting the results that you're looking for, then YouTube is probably worth giving a try for you. Most importantly though, if you walk away with one thing from this video, I hope it's this right here. The most important thing is to actually enjoy making videos. You're never going to be successful with this if you're just trying to get rich by posting videos. You actually need to enjoy the process. Now remember what I said at the very beginning of this video? If you ask almost any of those popular YouTube channels out there, ones that you watch, ones that I watch, almost all of them will have the exact same answer to why they started making a YouTube channel. And that answer is simply because they enjoyed making videos. And eventually their skill set lined up with their level of enjoyment, and that's when a true audience starts to form, and that's when a YouTube channel can take off. So stick with it if it's something that you're interested in. Good luck to you, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.